Alrighty guys, welcome back to the Madden 20 Raiders Connected franchise. This is the playoffs recap. We will be going through each round and each matchup and see how the playoffs shaped up for the Super Bowl. So, started off in the wildcard round, the number 6 seeded Kansas City Chiefs took on the Miami Dolphins at home. Miami just squeaked by with a 3-point victory over the Chiefs. The Packers hosted the 49ers in Lambeau and they just came up short. 3-point victory for San Francisco, 31-28. The Colts received the Broncos. The number 4 seeded Colts destroyed the Denver Broncos 31-3 and the Colts advanced to the divisional round. Panthers took on the Giants at MetLife Stadium and the Giants got the victory over the Panthers 26-21. In the divisional round, the Colts went to Pittsburgh at Heinz Field and the Steelers showed them who's boss and defend their territory. They won 35-14. Great victory for them. 49ers went to Atlanta and took on the Falcons. The Falcons, number 1 seed in the NFC, defended their home ground and won 35-14. Number 2, Oakland Raiders. We played the Miami Dolphins at home and we just won that game with a last-second field goal to secure a ticket to the AFC Championship. The Seahawks hosted the New York Giants and beat them 31-21. So it was a number 1 versus number 2 seed affair in both championship games. And we defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh 28-14 in the snow. Very, very intense game. Crazy interceptions on both sides. Good fun game overall. The Seahawks beat the Falcons 28-23 in Atlanta. And so, let's go through the stats of each of these games. We had almost 400 yards against the Steelers. They had 272. We had 91 rushing yards and they had 1. We had 307 passing yards. They had 271. We had 4 more first downs than them. They had a lot more punt return and kick return yards than us. We gained a total of 402 yards. They gained a total of 389, so pretty even overall. We had 5 turnovers and they had 8, so our defense really made a difference there. They converted 1 more third down than us. They converted a 4th down, which we didn't even attempt. 2-point conversions, none of us converted any. And so we were 100% effective in the red zone. That is good to see. They were only 25% effective. We got 2 touchdowns in the red zone on offense and we kicked 2 field goals there. Into some player stats. Richard Hicks, not a great day for either quarterback, but they both threw for quite a lot of yards. 342 yards, 2 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Took 3 sacks and completed 55% of his passes. Sean Lynn, the MVP of the NFL, not a good game for him. 336 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, but 8 interceptions, and he took 10 sacks as well. So our defense did a great job of containing the best player in the NFL. Jacobs ran for 87 yards and a touchdown. He went on a massive 68-yard touchdown run, which honestly probably sealed the game. Devin Singletary had 7 yards on 8 carries. And yeah, just wasn't a good game on the ground overall. Torrey Bright, best tight end in the league without doubt, best receiver in the league really. 142 yards and a touchdown. That was absolutely incredible from him. John Ross over 100 yards as well. No touchdown for him though. And then Renfro, Don Brown, and Waller all had a great amount of yards on less than 5 or less catches. Darren Waller got a touchdown. Zay Jones also got 54 yards. Miles Sanders got a touchdown. But yeah, all around great game for our receivers. On defense, Minkah Fitzpatrick had 11 tackles, Devin Bush had 9, Cleveland Ferrell had 8, which is quite impressive. Eric Hall, Carl Joseph, and Dean Ingram also all had quite a few tackles. TJ Watt, 3 tackles for loss, Cleveland Ferrell 2, Darion Shirley 2 as well as Jerome Baker. Leading sacks was Cleveland Ferrell and Rashawn Ball. They both had 3 sacks each on huge plays. They were very, very good. TJ Watt had 2, Devin Bush had 1. Carl Joseph, Jordan Lewis, and Maurice Hurst, as well as Dean Ingram, each had a sack and contributed to that. Interception leaders of the day, Devin Bush had 3, but so did Ronald Hubbard and Jonathan Abram. They each had 3 interceptions, which is absolutely incredible. Carl Joseph also got one for himself, as did Dalvin Marshall. So that was those were the stats for our AFC Championship game. Now onto the NFC Championship game. The Seahawks had 28 more yards of offense than the Falcons. They had 144 rushing yards, and the Falcons only had 83. Falcons, though, did beat them in the air. Mitchell Rogers, 237 yards on offense in the air. The Seahawks had 204. Seahawks had 19 first down compared to Atlanta's 16. Seattle didn't have any punt return yards. Falcons had 110 kick return yards, which is pretty good. Total yards gained, Falcons have 436. Turnovers, Falcons had 9, the Seahawks had 1. A few more third down conversions for the Seahawks, 1 fourth down conversion as well. 100% red zone percentage, 66 for the Falcons. 4 red zone touchdowns for the offense of the Seahawks. Let's get into some player stats. Russell Wilson and Mitchell Rogers went head-to-head. Mitchell Rogers, 237 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and he took 1 sack. Great game for him. Russell Wilson, almost 200 yards. He's got 198 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Didn't take any sack. So, great day for both of these quarterbacks. On the ground, Gerald Westbrook, leading rusher for the Seahawks. He got 87 yards and 2 touchdowns. He broke 2 tackles as well. That is a good day for him. Russell Wilson scrambled 6 times and got 36 yards on the day. Tariq Cohen, playing for the Falcons, now got 34. Chris Carson, 21. And a few more Falcons players got a few more yards. Austin Hooper led the game in receiving yards, got 105 as well as 2 touchdowns, so great day for him. Raymond Cherry got 65 yards on 5 receptions. DK Metcalf, 54 yards. And Jameson Maxey, wide receiver for the Seahawks, 49 yards and a touchdown. Will Disley also grabbing himself a touchdown. Alex McGee joins him. On defense, Isaiah Oliver with 10 tackles led the day. Deion Jones as well got 8. Deshaun Elliott, 8 tackles, and John Browning as well. Tackles for loss leader was Lyle Hutton with 3, and Nathan Shepard with 2. Few more players got 1. Deshaun Elliott was the only player to record a sack that game, so good on him. And the man who got the interception for the Falcons was John Browning. So that'll do it for the playoffs recap. It is Super Bowl 60, and we are taking on the Seahawks, and we are going to be both going head to head for that Lombardi trophy. It is going to be a huge one. Make sure you watch it. I will see you then.